Alright YouTube, here's your fast, quick and dirty how to change the front brakes and pads on a Buick Century, any mid-sized GM motor car of the early 2000s vintage. Some go back into the late 90s like 98, 99. And the Chevy minivan and the oldsmobile minivan of this vintage with the front wheel drive. So, you need a 19 millimeter to get your lug nuts off. You need a 15 millimeter to remove the pins holding your brake caliper in place. You need a flathead screwdriver, a ratchet or impact of your choice, and a clamp, a C-clamp, wherever I decided to put. There it is, C-clamp, to press your piston back in place, unless you're one of those people that has to bleed it every single time. Brake fluid's clean in this car, it doesn't need it right now, pedal is fine. And loosen your lug nuts while it's on the ground. Loosen, like just until they pop loose. You'll feel it. Jack the vehicle up, support it safely on the frame seam or under the subframe in this case. Finish removing your wheel. Your brake caliper be in this position with the pads underneath. You have two 15 millimeters. If you are changing only the pads, remove the lower 15 millimeter bolt. Caliper swings up out of the way. No brake lines to worry about dangling. Pads snap out. If you live in the north, somewhere where it gets rusty, buy the expensive brake pads. It comes with brand new stainless steel hardware. Here in the south, nothing ever rusts. I'm just going to brush that off and brake clean it. It'll be fine. Reinstall new brake pads on here. Take your C-clamp, press this back in till it's even, and be careful. This rubber seal here sometimes wants to pop out a little bit and stick out the side. Don't let it do that. If it does, get something sharp like a knife and just barely peel back and let the air out, or else you'll pinch that and it'll get dust in there and it will ruin it. Flip that back down, put your slide pin back in, make sure it's clean, got fresh grease on it. This one does. Get it tight, like to where you can't easily push the wrench, and give it two good slaps with your hand. That's tight enough. You can look up the torque specs if you really want to. After you've done that, put your wheel back on, torque the lug nuts. I typically like to use a large wrench and get them until you hear them kind of squeak a little bit or click, and just a little bit more. Before you go to drive the car, after you have changed both brakes, pump the brake pedal 3 or 4 times. Put it in gear and very slowly go in the direction of your choice, making sure, testing the brakes, make sure they feel good. Then you're going to burnish the pads. You have a nice big parking lot like this. You can get up to about 25-30 miles an hour, hammer the brakes hard. 25-30 miles an hour, hammer the brakes hard, about 5 or 6 times, let them cool off, you're done. Hope this video was helpful for you. Comment, rate, subscribe. Have an awesome day.